All right.
Perfect. Shannon, do you want to tell us a little bit about this wall since it's the kind of iconic image?
Yeah. So I wanted to decorate the house this wall to look like a Fabergé egg. Like, I take inspiration from, like, anytime I see stuff, I'm like, oh, I'll slowly collect pieces
Yes.
until it looks like a Fabergé egg.
I think that you've nailed it.
And then I've always wanted to have, like, lipstick on a pig, so I'm like, oh, this is perfect. This will be perfect.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And who is she supposed to represent again?
So the Far Side comic, Gary Larson is super iconic for my age group, I would say. So, you know, you spend every childhood reading the comics, and I'm like, oh, I love this. I'm going to have that. And that's why.
Definitely.
And there it is.
She's front and center, too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about the history of the structure.
So it was a Grange Hall first, and then I think I want to say it was a school first because there is a bell in the upstairs.
Yes, which we will ring on our way out.
Yeah.
You guys will get to see that and hear that.
So like the whole house is basically split in half. So you first come in, there's two restrooms, and then there were two separate classrooms. So there's two separate doors.
Yeah, let's go look at that real quick. And you know, when in Rome, should we ring the bell now?
Yeah.
So this is the original entrance and bell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
That was half of why I wanted it. I'm like, oh, there's a bell. I need it. I need this place.
Yeah.
So we were trying to buy it, and because it had been at a Grange Hall for a number of years, and then it fell into disrepair, and then they were selling it, then we lost it to someone else, and the county gave them problems trying to turn it into a antique store.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, well, I'm not going to do that then.
Yeah.
So he sold it to us.
Excellent. And who are these fabulous ladies up here?
Oh, so I was at the Long Beach garage sale, the longest garage sale, goodness, like last year probably. And this woman had died, and she had owned this painting, and she realized that she had the same dog, so she decided to dress up like the painting and decorate her house like that.
It's amazing.
So yeah,
Were they side by side in the home?
I don't know. But I heard the story. I'm like, hashtag life goals. So definitely.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about what this entrance was. What's going on here?
So there used to be a drinking fountain here. We were going to put a drinking fountain in. It's in the basement. We just haven't gotten around to it because life happens. But we have, the two restrooms. My delousing sign, which I'm super pleased by.
Yes, perfect.
Oh yeah, it deloused. So yeah.
So this was the boys'
This is the boys' restroom, and this is the girls' restroom.
Okay.
It was all plastered over, pink, and everything. And then we've got the water closets. We keep that up in Croatia.
Excellent.
So
Yeah, let's pop on in. Let's see that.
This is the bathroom. Yeah.
Wow. This is great. And Bert.
Yes.
Ooh. So is there a particular theme throughout this room, or is it just sort of a hodgepodge of all wonderful things?
Just everything that I've collected. Like this used to be a wall clock, and then I saw this gal's hair, and I'm like, oh, I need it. I need it to be a framed display.
You
so
do.
like, there it is.
Yes.
Like I can't have that hair really, so
But you have someone who has that hair
Yes, I'm
now
like,
in
oh.
your home.
now I can enjoy this.
Yes. Definitely.
And then, just as I pick things up, this is Cretan, I think. This is a guy that sells things at the farmers market or the Saturday market in Portland.
Oh, okay.
He does he does art like that.
Excellent.
He's been there
It's
for
very
probably
surreal.
15 years now, but he moved to Claxton recently. Oh, it's probably been like 8 years now.
Wow. Did the town accept him?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's wonderfully
he's
zany.
known, yes. Yeah.
Perfect. Come on this way, Brian. Look at this painting here.
So she was a very fancy lady, and this is another painting that I got from her,
From that estate sale?
from the estate sale.
Oh,
with the
okay.
lady. Yeah. And then
Excellent.
some art smut.
Yes. What is going on with this little gal?
You know, I mean, I like people.
Yeah.
I like pictures of people and mannequins and faces. So, and apparently structure fires. This is Burning Man for like 2010, I think.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, we'll get some pictures up instead of just having them in a box, gathering dust.
Certainly.
Yeah. And then,
All right.
yeah, wait.
What's that?
It's
Electricity?
An old school fuse, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I'm like, oh, it's a big one.
Are there a lot of those like original sort of structural things here?
No. Like I picked that up. It's all estate sales.
Oh, gotcha.
And then I've got my first aid kit. It makes me look like a drunk. But I just think it's funny. Like, oh. Like,
You know,
it's an emergency.
you never know when you're gonna need that. All of those things.
It's all for like, well, originally it was one of those where you put it in the medicine cabinet and then you have people sign in. But I'm like, oh, I'll just do a first aid kit.
For sure.
I'm like, tactical knife.
Yeah.
Two-headed duck.
Too.
It's
Hey,
very
guys.
practical.
Yeah.
We have a question.
Hey, how's it going, Kevin?
Hey, so Katie Ann wants to know what's the story with all the old scissors and maybe guns hanging around the door? Is there like a story going on there?
Oh. So I sew clothes, and I also saw Edward Scissorhands when I was young. So I started collecting these very long scissors, and then I also make costumes. So the pirate guns, it's all costume things for like, hey, just put this blunderbuss on your belt.
Definitely.
Yeah. And just creepy long scissors. They're their own aesthetic.
Are those from estate sales as well?
Yeah, anywhere I come across them, basically.
Wow. What are those used for in real life?
Just I think sewing. Just
Wow.
yeah,
They're very
crazy long.
menacing.
I know, right?
Yes. Oh, and then Bert up there.
You can't handle the Bert.
The original centerfold.
Yes.
Definitely. Awesome. Oh, and you've got a peek in here too. The actual little toilet room.
Yes. So funny story about this hot gentleman here. Apparently he was short, and those are fake feet.
Wow.
And you can kind of see where his original feet are. And the photographer's just like, yeah, we'll just put some fake feet in there, and
Which is so funny because you wouldn't be able to tell he was short in a photograph anyway.
right?
They were just crossing all boxes. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Where do you think we should go next?
Well, there's the taxidermy. There's all this. Yeah. Yeah. It's vintage. I didn't shoot any of it. Just take a look at.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm very proud of my wallpaper. Basically, it's not wallpaper, but my stencil that I made.
Yes.
It's very little boy's room aesthetic,
Uh-huh.
and the color, the
Fitting.
pink and the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the kitchen. So, yeah,
More stenciling.
more stenciling. Yeah. I was wanting more of a 50s look. It doesn't really match the kitchen, but people like, I like it. And then my collection of meat cleavers.
Oh, yes.
I just started collecting them as I go through life. It's probably been like 12 years of collecting. And I think the last thing that I picked up was a hog axe, people call them. But I got this from a family friend. He used to be a butcher. His dad was a butcher, and he was a butcher.
Wow.
So he was nice enough to gift that to me.
And what's the story behind this collection? Is there one?
So we would watch just horror movies and the serial killer series. So it wasn't Jeffrey Dahmer. No, it was Ted Bundy. It was the Ted Bundy story, where it was behind the scenes. But he was talking about how he would have dismemberment tools in his kitchen, and people just didn't question it. And I'm like, oh, that's super creepy. I love that. I will do that.
And I don't question it. I just feel like
You're
you're
like,
chopping up some meat,
Yeah.
you know,
Right?
just casually.
It goes big to all the way to the small. There's like a little miniature meat cleaver on the end that you can't really see from this angle, but there's a tiny little meat cleaver up there.
Amazing.
Very end. Yeah.
For the smallest of meats.
The smallest of meats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. I like the pink.
My masticate sign.
Uh-huh. Excellent.
And then the walking on the moon. I just love it.
What's this little mask?
I just, I think it was actually for string. You put string in there and then it just comes out of the mouth, but I'm not sure. But I just picked it up. I just kind of hooked it on a nail.
He's wonderfully weird.
Yeah, I haven't really placed him yet, so yeah. I just picked this up. I just love the blue with the yellow. I made my curtains. The sequins just makes me happy.
It complements the room.
Yeah. I've been working on bathrobes.
Oh wow! What a wonderful bathrobe.
Yeah.
Very luxurious.
And they've got pockets, and then it's just so much, so you can like wrap yourself up and wrap someone else up if you need to.
You could.
Yeah.
It's a very way fancier than a snuggie,
Yes.
but essentially.
Yes. Yeah.
Like a rescue robe.
Yeah.
Yeah, like wrap you up. Yeah.
Wow. And then this.
My Bill Murray.
What's going on
Okay.
here?
So I'm I'm super into movies, of course. So I got my Bill Murray. Yeah. If I had time, I would have put it in a big fancy frame, but
I think it's better this way.
just up.
Yeah.
And then I dyed this deer black.
Or are his feet the wrong way?
I think it was for a gun rack.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I picked that up.
Hey, hey guys. So Katie Ann is really digging your home, and she has a couple questions. One of them is the vintage cleavers. Are they inspired by like horror movies? And your taxidermy. Like, where does that love for taxidermy?
So yeah, the meat cleavers were just horror movies, and also just I like old things. So like I just picked this up for like $4 at an estate sale. I'm assuming it's a pry bar, but I'm like, this is cool. I will put this in my display case. So it's kind of like, I don't know, that weird lady from Labyrinth where she's like, oh, look at all this junk, So, and also I think meat cleavers are just really cool.
They are.
And you sharpen it, so it's like, I think it's carbon, I don't know. The old knives will stay sharp longer, so
They're made better.
they're made better.
Yeah.
So I like that.
And it's just menacing enough that people won't mess with you.
Yeah.
You know, when they see the meat cleavers.
And the taxidermy, yeah, I like taxidermy.
I do too.
Vintage elegance.
Yeah, I can't
It
explain
just-
why I like it either.
Yeah, although it is pretty macabre. Because people are like, you take a dead animal and then you put it on display.
It's a gross process.
It is pretty, yeah. But I saw, so the reason why I'm changing this and that other is because I saw Rose Taxidermy. So I was like, this is so awesome. Like the two squirrels that were conjoined, and one has a nut, and the other one's reaching, like, give me that nut. And I'm like, oh, it's so,
Wow.
it's so cool.
It is.
So.
It's like a still life.
Yeah,
Yeah. Speaking of
yeah.
this guy.
So we got these conjoined twins. This I purchased off of Etsy from a gentleman in Portland, actually.
Okay.
I went up and got it.
How
is
is
it
it made?
I think he does the forms, but then I asked for one of them to have two faces, because why not?
Yeah, why
If
not?
you're gonna have something commissioned, change it.
Get it weirder.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. This is another Cretan artwork. of,
Oh, the artist you mentioned
yes,
from Portland?
in Portland.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and just more things I've collected. Weird bobcat skulls. Yeah, and this, my mom had never seen this, so I collect my cat's whiskers. You know when you're sweeping up and you're like, oh, it's a kitty whisker, and then I'm like, I'm gonna just keep these.
Why
So,
not?
yeah,
A little ode to your kitty.
yes, there's about 3 cats worth in here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
I have some of my dog's baby teeth, so I feel that.
right, yeah. So this was made by a local artist. This is the Great Tyrant from Barbarella, and this is the Great Tyrant, Raging Pygar the Angel. It's kind of a lesser known still from Barbarella, and I don't know, it's kind of risque. I don't have kids, so whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go for it.
and it also matches my blue well.
Did you make the horn for her?
Yes, I did. I went to the Supervillains superhero pub crawl in Portland,
Yes.
and I wore a body stocking. Not a cute look for someone my size, but I went for it. And someone asked, "So what are you supposed to be?" And I had the big horn, and this woman stepped out of the crowd. She says, "Are you kidding me? She's the Great Tyrant. How do you not know?" And I'm like, "Yes."
Somebody will get it in Portland.
Yes.
Someday.
Yes. So that was exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I've been working on this
Yes.
from the movie The Cell, where
Oh.
yeah, she walks through and then the wind hits and it all sounds like
Yes.
so.
Ooh.
It was shattering glass.
Oh yes.
So I'm like, oh,
That is very creepy. Surprisingly, for such a non-assuming thing.
right?
Or unassuming.
Well, I picked up these for like I think it was $35 in. They were all just broken chandeliers, so I've just been stringing them and putting them up.
Worth it.
Yeah,
I like how it separates the space too.
yeah. And I'm not a drunk, I swear. My super fancy bar.
Oh, that is fancy.
Yeah, I've been collecting these and yeah,
This is kind of the dream bar.
right?
Yeah,
And it just opens up.
I love this.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they were probably drinking too much.
They definitely
They
were.
set something down. It was not broken before, but
Amazing. What era do you think that's from? 20s, maybe?
this probably, it's rounded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I think it was like $80 out on the island. It's all secondhand. And then my teacup collection.
Oh, yes.
You know, I have another. Which, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So this is like from an old,
Wow.
yeah, it stopped working. So
That is-
basically the whole thing just switches back and forth,
It's an intense switch.
right? Our switch in the bathroom went out and we went from like this big snap to like flip. I'm like, oh,
It's not nearly as cool.
it's not as cool.
No.
Kind of a bummer. So you know it's on. But yeah, I just started collecting teacups. And then I use them until they break.
They're so dainty.
They are dainty.
Yes.
But it does stop you from drinking too much.
That's true. The size is restrictive.
Yeah.
I like this actual rounded structure.
So I picked this up for free off of Craigslist.
Wow.
And I had this for about 10 years before we finally got it in. And then once we got it in, we realized, oh, this wasn't really, so we're going to have to redo this a little bit.
I think it looks great. So you actually built this whole wall in and then kind of shoved this in?
Yeah. So like this is built in and then on the other side, there's a shelf also built in. So the wall is extra thick.
So basically this whole area was just one open space and you kind of divvied it out over the years?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said at one point there was like square dancing and stuff in here when it was a hall?
Yes.
Right?
There was square dancing and then people would meet and there was a built-in bar over on this side, but that was tore out before we moved in. And people would vote here also.
Interesting. Do the town people have any fun stories for you about the structure?
Yes, but mostly it's just like, you won't believe how drunk I got. Or like broken glass out on the front. There used to be giant rhododendrons. Like the plants were like 70 years old.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, we just like tossed our beer bottles down in there. So I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, I'm still pouring glass out of there. I'm digging. So yeah, you know, party.
And then for folks that maybe aren't from here, how far are we from Portland right now?
Mile-wise, I think like 50-something miles. Well, excuse me. From here to like McLaughlin is like 70 miles.
Okay.
So yeah, about an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we're just kind of right on the other side of Washington, right?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's like 4 miles that way is the river, and then Washington.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's a little geographical.
right. Like where is this
Yeah.
again?
Where are we?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
What else do you want to show us?
Well, so this is kind of subtle. So online they have like these free skeleton stencils. So I picked this up, and they're like, don't. You're not allowed to manufacture it, but you can feel free to use it.
Yeah.
So I ordered a stencil from a company off of Etsy, and then I stenciled this skeleton wallpaper looking stuff.
I love all your use of stencils.
Yeah, I like layer upon layer upon layer,
Mm-hmm.
and the chaos of it just like draws your eye, and you're like, what's in there? I want to see what exactly, you know.
Definitely. I like that it's not quite as rigid as wallpaper too. Like it doesn't go all the way to the edges.
Yeah.
It's a little more fluid.
Yeah, I was just putting this up for the red, and I didn't get it all quite up.
No, it looks great. What's going on with your little masks over here? What are these guys?
Oh, so I had made this patchwork coat for a Halloween costume, and a friend went as a unicorn.
Amazing.
Yeah, and he was quite pleased. He was quite pleased, like, oh yes, a lot of attention. So, like, this is a piece from the gal across the highway. She would have pulled through the drawers.
Oh, neat. Yeah, come get a look at this, Brian. This is cool.
Yeah, like I'm like,
Ooh.
hey, we'll do this fancy color.
We've got another question
Yeah.
from Sharon Rubb. What's the old name of the Grange Hall?
Oh, it's just the Marshland Grange.
Marshland Grange?
Marshland Grange.
Okay.
And it was what was it called when it was a schoolhouse, you said?
I think it's just the Marshland School.
Okay.
Oh.
Like, so the count is kind of funny. Our address doesn't really exist with the county because the highway came through afterwards. So we're still like Marshland County Road
Oh.
is the official address. But then when we'd have like them come out to look, they're driving out on Marshland County Road, and we're now on Schroeder Road.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, we can't find the numbers don't go up so high. And we're like, yeah, because that address doesn't exist.
Interesting.
So
So we have another question from Katie Ann again. How long have you lived in this amazing place? It looks like a life's work in
It's-
here.
14 years. Yeah, 14 years.
It does look longer though. It looks
Yeah.
like you've been here for a long, long time.
Oh, I feel like I haven't done much.
Oh, that's great. Tell us about how, when you were telling me earlier that these two rooms used to be separated, right? 'Cause when there was the school rooms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so basically, if you see through the door there, well, it's daylight, but there used to be a chalkboard there and a chalkboard over here. So basically, you come in through the two doors, and then there'd be two different classrooms.
Have you seen any photographs of when it was a classroom?
No, so we came in before, well, when it was first for sale, from a local gentleman, and there was actually a book with all the information that had ever happened. Then the antique store guy, he purchased it. And I don't know whatever happened to the book,
Oh, no.
but it also had all this, I don't want to say Masonic stuff, but it was like, there were folding chairs and everything, because it was a meeting hall.
Uh-huh.
And then all that stuff was gone also. There was a creepy, like, hospital bed in the basement, and I'm like, where's the jumper cables? This is creepy, this is awesome. And then it was gone too, so
You think that's from when it was a schoolhouse?
I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe it's just storage, like, we'll just take it to the Grange Hall and leave it there.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably.
In the county building.
Yeah. So we would have big music events here before COVID. And my husband was nice enough to get these lights in, and then we have this to cover over the television,
Uh-huh.
and then we have the band equipment here,
Cool.
and then everybody would get to watch, and the whole thing.
Like local folks?
Yeah, people from Portland, people all the way up from Seattle, some people from out of state would travel here just to play.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
You're on the road to the next place, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, this is Roxy. I got her from, she was from, well, we did World War II reenactment. So at the guardhouse, she was given to me for, just because we were reenactors. Like, yeah, take her. And then, of course, the guardhouse flooded, so all the mannequins got ruined. So we saved her.
Yes.
But she was on display at Hump's Restaurant, and so we dressed her. And then
Did you paint her? as
no,
well?
I had a local artist paint her to look like Predator.
Yes.
And I'm like, my beautiful face.
Yes.
And he did an excellent job. So, yeah, I decorate her and dress her up.
For the seasons or just like what you feeling?
Yeah, I just picked this up, and it's beautiful.
It is.
I'll probably put those spiders on there
For Halloween, definitely.
Yeah. And then I got this last year. The T-Rex. It's kind of funny. It was in the middle of the living room, and people drive by, and when the curtains are open at night, It looks crazy in here. Yeah.
Definitely. I like him in relation to the staircase, though. They complement each other.
Well, I would have him just out, but my husband's like, I mean, it's kind of in the way, a little on the nose. So I had to tuck him away.
He's perfect.
And then my husband was nice enough to get me this. It's mounted this on the wall.
Very
It's
cool.
all bolted in. It cost $1.
Wow.
It was leaned up in someone's someone's home for 20 years. They're like,
Wow.
oh, our kids and then our grandkids like to play on it. But they were moving, so they're like, it's time for it to go. So,
Yeah. I like all of your noise things.
yes.
Wow.
And my most fancy lamp ever.
Oh.
I was actually going to turn this into a moving costume thing, so it's on wheels.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she's removable. But to go, kind of wander around downtown Portland
That's a great idea.
and give people their fortune.
Yeah.
Just take care, use condoms, probably.
You bring the first aid kit with
Yes,
you.
yes.
Just in
And,
case.
yeah, just hand out things. It's always fun to go downtown and hand things out. So,
Definitely. And people will take it, whatever it is.
oh
right?
yes, yes. Although, so we were dressed up like fairies in front of mine for Halloween. And we're handing out condoms to people, and then we handed this condom to this guy. He was a janitor at a music venue, and he goes, oh, thank you, but I don't need this. I have the loving of a wonderful woman. So he turns and he hands it to this guy, and he goes, oh, I need this. Like, oh yeah, it's kismet. Wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. Pass it along, right?
Yeah.
Pay it forward. Definitely.
The dog was a gift from a friend. It was in a Jane's Addiction music video. So I just kind of dressed him up.
Do you remember which music video?
I don't remember which.
Oh,
I had to
I'm
ask
gonna-
my husband last night, and he goes, Jane's Addiction. I'm like, which video? He goes, I don't remember either.
We'll have to look. Brian's
Yeah.
a fan.
They didn't have enough room, so they're like, yeah, you want that? I'm like, sure.
How did he get this then?
It was just a gift
Oh,
from friends. They're like, ah, you got all that room here. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I
It
appreciate it.
definitely complements the collections. For
Yeah.
sure. And what about all this media? Did you guys build these bookshelves too?
We hired a friend to build it, and he would come out, and this was all actually from Pal's Bookshelf. I
Oh,
picked that up at the Rebuild It Center. They were like $20 a piece, and then he basically dismantled them and then put them back up.
wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then my library ladder. Excellent. Was from a Foot Locker. Originally, it was from a Foot Locker. Yeah. But it was for sale secondhand also, and yeah.
So cool.
The doctor's office.
Yeah, you were
Door.
telling us about this door.
I feel it was from the doctor's office because it's like 4 feet wide.
And the glass is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We got this from the Rebuild It Center also,
I like it.
along with the chandelier was also from the Rebuild It Center.
Wow. It's very
So-
grand.
And more stencils all over.
Love it, guys. And I just want to give you a heads up. We have about 5 minutes left.
I don't know. Where else do you think?
Well, do you want to talk about the hearse or show them the exterior maybe?
Let's look at the exterior. I
Yeah.
actually have, I had commissioned a gentleman to make me it's now in disrepair, but I wanted a miniature of my house as a birdhouse.
Oh, cool.
So that is out. Yeah.
Wow, I love that it's just right in front of the house. That's perfect.
It used to be all painted up, and now I've just been noticing it's been in more and more disrepair. So I'll have to take this down. But I've had birds in it regularly. And basically they just go in and then the babies come out. They fly out. I'm going to have Are we too far away?
Yeah, I think this is my boundary for internet.
Are we back?
We're back now, yes.
Do you want to talk about the hearse from afar?
Oh.
anyway?
Yeah, so I had a store, and I picked this up at the swap meets, the PIR swap meets, and I've always wanted one. Like, I always wanted the smallest car and then the biggest car. So she's like 17 feet long,
Wow.
and she fits about 14 bodies in the back.
Wow. Did
So-
they tell you that when you bought it?
No, so I bought like 14 mannequins, and they all fit in the back.
Oh,
There's more room, but you know, yeah. So I had all these mannequins out in the yard. My neighbor was nice enough to help me bring them all in.
wow.
Yeah, and now I have it for sale. So
It's amazing. Yeah, so if you
Yeah.
guys want to buy it, that's for sale. So and I wish we could show you the exterior of the home, but the Wi-Fi signal is not strong enough.
yeah, no, we're pretty far. Yeah,
Yes, but basically it looks like the birdhouse, so
yeah, a little in better shape.
well, yeah,
than the
much
birdhouse.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then maybe tell us about the town. You were telling us about all of those trees.
Oh, so it's a paper mill town, and there are some. Well, there's Stimson the sawmill, but basically it's Walnut paper mill, and these trees, they are planted. They are cottonwoods, but they're not neutered. What is it? It won't. If you have allergies, it won't be a problem because
okay.
they are engineered. So when it snows, it will like snow all the cottonwoods, and it doesn't really create problems
Huh.
for people. Unlike the old ones that are in the city center in the town in the
Mhm.
park.
You said how old are these trees?
They're like 8 years old.
Wow. So
Yeah.
that's how fast they grow.
Oh, real fast.
Man.
Like it's gone, and then one day you're like, oh, where'd all these trees come from?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're out of time, folks.
Ah.
I think so.
Yeah, we're getting close to time. I was able to find one of the photos that we had on hand of the exterior of the home, and we're able to show that, thankfully.
Right on.
Yeah, Lauren, Brian, Shannon, thank you so much for showing us around, Shannon, your amazing home. People just dug all of your eclectic collectibles and just amazing stuff. Thank you so much for sharing with us today.